This former president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, hear what he is about to he's saying. Hear what he's saying. Hear what he's about to tell you.
Some people are asking, what exactly is China doing in Africa? What's your take on that?
Western countries have come to Africa for centuries to rob Africa of its resources. They should be admitting what they've done. Some are rich because of the resources they took from Africa. They never thought of helping Africa to develop. They subjugated Africa. They took the political power, economic power, and then made us, therefore, socially, to have no power at all. We had to fight to liberate ourselves. They were never here to help. They were here to rob. After decolonization, they continued to do so. They could no longer use political power. They influenced it indirectly, but they held on to the economic levers of these countries. They were dominating. They were benefiting. They were doing nothing to help us. They created banks that were instruments of subjugating us. They would say, for an example, to the IMF, when the IMF will say, my country is in trouble, can you help? It will put conditions that will put you in a worse situation than before. So it was not helping. What China is doing, China is coming and saying, here we are. We know where you come from. We are here to work with you. For the first time, when China came here, highways began to emerge in the continent of Africa that were never there when they were here all the time. China is working with us. FOCAC is one example that China as a country is ready to sit down and discuss how do we help, how do we relate to one another. And perhaps many other FOCAC summits that took place before, people were not very clear. This FOCAC that has taken place here in South Africa has made matters to be more clearer than any other time. The kind of pledges that China has made and the kind of relations that it has with different countries. China is not here to rob or to colonize. It's here to help Africa develop. President Xi Jinping said it himself. We need to develop together. We are together making progress. These are the issues. For an example, the issue of infrastructure, energy, many others. Nobody took care of these matters. Even if you said to them, we need a road, they never came. If you talk to China, China says, let us come. Let us make the roads. Now, it is even voting money so that we can quicken the decision that has been taken by the AU to create the infrastructure continental. China says that we have taken that decision. Here are the resources for that. Energy, we are together. They are just feeling they are being replaced because they were here doing nothing for the people here, doing something for themselves.
Have you heard? This is the same America, Europe, you, my brothers and sisters, love so much. You love American and European countries more than you love Africa, more than you love any other part of the world. But these same people, the American government, the European countries, all 27 countries, they are the ones behind our suffering in Africa. They are the ones behind all atrocities happening in Africa. They are the ones who went to Libya and killed Gaddafi and bombed the East Palace and destabilized that country. Right now, if you talk of Libya, Libya is nothing. Libya is divided into 4 different regions and their leaders. And these same people and their lands is the same thing that you and all my brothers and sisters in Africa are ready to die for. using all different kinds of slave routes, just trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea and enter into Europe. That's what you are ready to die for. That's what we are ready to die for. You are ready to die for. The American and the China. The European countries. There is a very big difference between China, Russia, all these other countries from America and Europe. European countries and America, they have got the habit of interfering in our political decisions. They have ways of coming in and influence the people and destabilize the nation and even destroy any country in Africa. But with China and Russia, they don't participate in our politics. They don't involve themselves in our politics. They don't involve themselves in our political affairs, in our policies, in our laws, and they don't. If they come here to do business. They go. They don't involve themselves in our politics, and they will never involve themselves. That's the difference between China and America. America is able to penetrate into your political arena and make decisions that enables you and I to suffer. And it's a shame to Zambia and to the Zambian people, because our Bali is busy praising them. He's working hand in hand with them. In fact, as we speak, he has handed over nickel to them. They are the one benefiting now. They are the one mining new nickel we discovered recently in the northwestern province. Very soon we hear that he has given them gold mine, Kasensere gold mine. Very soon we hear that he has sold them back the KCM mine and the Mopani mine. Who knows? That's the dilemma we are dealing with in Africa. We are dealing with our leaders who are unable to see who their real enemies and who are not their real enemies. America and all European countries are the enemies of Africa, are the enemies of Zambia, are the enemies of Malawi, are the enemies of Zimbabwe, Namibia, South Africa, Angola, DRC, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea, Nigeria, Ghana, Algeria, Egypt, everywhere. Everywhere. America and European countries are the enemies of Africa. And they will forever be as such. Whenever they try to come to Africa, just know that there is something they have come to steal. Whenever they hear that there is oil or any other precious minerals, they go there and destroy that country, destabilize the country, wars from one war to another until it finishes. There is no history where China colonized Africa and enslaved us. There is no history where India, these other Pakistan, Turkey, Russia, these countries, all of these countries, there is no history where these people came to Africa and colonized us, enslaved our people, made us slaves. No, there is no such history. But America has done that and is still doing it. All European countries, the European Union, all of them, they have done that and they are still doing it. Now we are moving into different dimension, into the new technology of electric everything, cars and everything. They want to come back because they have seen the influence of China and Russia on the African continent that is growing big. Now they want to come back and steal more. If Africa were to develop, would have developed it very far, because we have been dealing with them for over 400 years. We have been dealing with them for over 400 years. USA and all European countries have been dealing with them for over 400 years. Africa has never woken up. Africa has never been success. Have never been succeed because of them. Now that China's influence is growing in Africa and Russia's influence is growing in Africa and these other countries